bringing someone in just to find out who they are. Hello,
Hello,
who are we speaking to?
Caleb Harris.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna put you back in the waiting room. As soon as the judge calls your case, we'll bring you back in.
Okay.
That's ridiculous.
Hello,
Hello?
who are we speaking to?
Hello?
Who are we
Stephen Michael Smith.
Okay, we're gonna put you back in the waiting room. As soon as the judge calls your case, we'll bring you back in, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Madam Clerk, do we have our pro se defendant, Malia Stewart?
I have not had her log on yet. We do have Ed Taylor.
Okay, and Mr. Whitner, you represent Mr. Taylor, correct?
Yes, I do.
Well, let's go ahead and bring him in.
The Honda? Yeah. Oh, no, but the Kia needs a little bit of work. I might get that going and sell it.
Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Taylor, you're in the South Bend virtual courtroom right now.
Thank you.
All right, this matter comes on for pre-trial, and I think it's also coming on for a status regarding jury trials. Madam Clerk, what's status look like for jury trials?
Not sure how to answer that. I
Okay.
don't understand your question. I apologize.
I'm just wondering what the city's position is as far as being open and available for a jury setting at City Hall.
We would probably not be able to do it at City Hall. It would be held at the chamber in order to keep everybody the 6 feet distance.
Okay, and how far in advance do we need to reserve the chamber for use?
Just a couple weeks would be fine,
Okay.
especially during the day in the middle of the week.
Okay. What do jury dates look like in the month of December?
We have December 21st set as our regular jury date, but the court can be flexible.
What does July look like? Or, I mean, not July, January. I don't know where to think of.
We don't have a January schedule yet. We need to talk about the day of the week we want first. So
Okay.
I can give you what it would normally be.
Yeah, give me the tentative date for January.
Tentative date would be the 18th of January.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do a setting on January 18th. I think the 21st, we could run into some trouble being so close to Christmas.
Yeah. Agreed.
Mr. Taylor, are you available January 18th for a jury trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Quitner, are you available?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Duncason, are you available?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and set the jury trial for January 18th. Madam Clerk, if you'll issue notices to everybody, that would be terrific.
Do you want jury instructions sent out too?
Jury instructions, I would prefer to have to the court the day before trial.
We have them already.
Oh, do we? Okay. Yeah, if you'll send them out maybe the Friday prior.
Sure.
I will note for the record, I believe the only jury instructions filed are mine, as this was set originally back when Mr. Taylor was pro se. So Mr. Quitner hasn't put in his proposed yet.
No, I don't think I've seen the ones that have been entered. I don't think we anticipated this representation going beyond one day. It spiraled out of control. So I would like a deadline by which to submit my own.
How about the Friday before? That would be January 14th.
That should be easily done. This trial is already on my calendar for November 16th. Was that struck before?
I have that blocked out in my calendar too. Let me ask you, Madam Clerk, is the 16th a reality?
Yes, at this point, we could do it.
I'm not insisting upon it. I'm just making sure that it was ever struck, which apparently it was not.
Okay, well, let's go with November 16th. I'll keep an eye on current COVID case counts once we get into November and see where things are at, because it sounds like Grace Harbor and Pacific County are kind of on the same pace with each other here. And so, do we need any sort of a confirmation setting prior to November 16th?
I don't think so.
Mr. Duncason?
I don't think so. If somehow the parties come to a resolution before then, I'm sure we can note it up without a problem.
Okay. Well, I've got it in my calendar already. Unless we get another serious wave of upticks, if we have a large enough space to do this, let's just keep it set on the 16th and get it over with.
And jury instructions still do the Friday before.
Yes, so that would be, Mr. Quitner, that would be the 12th.
Already on my calendar, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Taylor, are you clear on everything we've been discussing here?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay, so it looks like November 16th we've confirmed. And Madam Clerk, where's the chamber located? Is it right in town or is it outside of town?
It's right in town. It's just a couple blocks up from our regular courthouse.
Okay.
I can send out address to everybody too, just so everybody has it.
Okay. All right, well, trial will convene at 9 a.m. on November 16th, and we'll see everyone in person at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
questions for the court, I think that concludes your case today.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, make sure you get in touch with your attorney prior to trial so he can help prepare.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, terrific. You're free to log off, Mr. Taylor.
Goodbye.
And any word from defendant Malia Stewart?
No, sir.
Is the city requesting a bench warrant?
I don't think one is necessary at this time. She has been appearing. I would just maybe note her FTA for speedy purposes and resend her notice.
Okay. Ms. Stewart's absence is noted for the record for purposes of speedy trial. We'll reset this for the next available date in November.
Okay, that will be November 10.
Okay. Well, I think that concludes the docket that I was provided, unless there are any add-ons for me.
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Well, then everyone have a good day, and we'll see you back here in November.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Okay, we have a Spanish interpreter case. We have, I believe, all people involved, so I could bring them in.
Hello.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good,
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Will Penoyer, judge for the city of South Bend Municipal Court. I believe, is this pre-trial for Jose Cruz Morales?
Yes, it's me.
Okay,
I'm
great.
sorry, me not speak English.
That's okay. That's what Mr. Hinton, the interpreter, is here for.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, señor Cruz, ¿me escucha bien?
Sí.
Okay, muy bien.
All
So I
right,
can hear him pretty well, Your Honor.
great. Mr. Quittner, have you had a chance to speak with your client?
I have not, and having not heard from him, I reached out, tried to get a phone number for him. The clerk had an old one. I'm not sure if it is still good or not. Can we confirm that with Mr. Cruz Morales, what his phone number is?
Señor, el licenciado ha tratado de comunicarse con usted, pero no ha podido porque no tenía un número de teléfono válido. El número que está en la pantalla, el 1971-287-8917, ¿es válido?
No,
¿Qué es el número telefónico que el licenciado debe usar?
este es el número que estoy marcando ahora. Este es lo que uso siempre.
¿El número
Sí.
que acabo de decir es el que estás usando?
Sí,
Y se puede...
permítame, permítame.
Okay. I think he's going to maybe looking up another number here, counsel.
Es 971
¿Cómo?
287 8917.
Otra vez más lento.
971 287 8917.
Correcto. Es el número que estás usando hoy. ¿Se puede usar siempre?
Sí,
Okay. He says the number that's on the screen is one that we can use, John. Can you see it?
Yes, I can. It's 971-287-8917.
Right. Yeah. And I said the number to him and he said no. And then he came back and gave me the same number. So,
Apparently it's the best one that we can use.
okay. So he says we can use that.
And will you confirm that that's not his number, it's one where we're likely to find him.
Entonces, señor, ¿podemos lograr hablarte con este número telefónico casi siempre?
Sí,
He said basically anytime he's available.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, if I may clarify, this was on for arraignment last time, right?
I believe it was. That's my memory, Your Honor. I think I went through the rights with him and the nature of the charges and the possible consequences.
Right, I was just concerned about speedy trial issues, but if he was just arraigned last time, then I don't see any problem with continuing it to the next docket.
And that would be,
October 27th.
ok, señor, vamos a aplazar la corte hasta el 27 de octubre. Mientras tanto, el abogado va a tratar de hablarte conmigo, ¿ok?
Yeah, Mark,
Okay, está bien.
I will be out of town on the 27th.
Oops.
Although, since we'll be doing video court, I will try to participate anyway. I'll just keep the court apprised of, I'm gonna plan on being there.
Okay,
Okay.
Keep it the 27th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So same time, Judge, 12:45, work for everybody?
yes,
Ok. Señor, la próxima corte será el 27 de octubre a las 12:45 a la misma hora. Mientras tanto, yo y el abogado vamos a tratar de comunicarnos con usted para ayudarte, ¿ok?
ok,
¿Está bien?
está bien.
Okay, so he's got the new court date, Judge, and he understands that the counsel and I will be trying to get in touch with him. And of course, John has all my contact information and we can set up something pretty easy to get in touch with him, so.
great. Are there any other cases for Mr. Hinton?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, well then in that case, thank you very much, Mr. Hinton, for your assistance.
My pleasure, Your Honor. I guess I forgot to get on the record as the law requires, but this is Pete Hinton, State Certified Court Interpreter for the Spanish language with a current and permanent oath on file with AOC. And I'll let the client know that he can go, John. Okay, señor, ya puede colgar. Muchas gracias, okay?
Ok, gracias.
All right. Thanks a lot, folks. You all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Mr. Hinton.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Okay, did you want to start with pre-trials?
That would be fine.
Okay, we have Mr. Harris is on.
Okay,
We have a lot of Galaxy descriptions similar, so bear with me if I get it wrong. Mr.
okay.
Harris?
Yes.
All right, this is Mr. Harris on Zoom. Will Penoyer again, judge for the City of South Bend Municipal Court. We are on today for pre-trial in Mr. Harris's case. It's a failure to transfer title within 45 days. I received just prior to this hearing an email with a proposed order on this case. And the proposed order is to dismiss this matter without prejudice. Is that correct, according to the prosecutor?
Yes, me and Mr. Quittner talked about it. Mr. Harris got his matter, the car registered pretty short order after he got pulled over.
Okay, and this is just a failure to transfer title issue.
No.
Okay, all right. Anything else that needs to be added?
Not from defense.
Okay, in that case, given the nature of the charge and the agreement of the parties, I will sign off on that, and this matter will be dismissed without prejudice.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Harris. You can go
Thank
now.
you.
Have a good day.
You too. Oh, shit, how do I sign off?
We have Miss Cohn next, Tanya Cohn.
This? Can you hear me?
Yes, Miss
Okay.
Cohn, can you hear me?
Hi, sorry. Hi.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I do. Yes, Your Honor.
Great. Okay, we're on the record then. Will Penoyer, City of South Bend. I'm the judge. And we are on for pretrial in Ms. Cohn's case. Mr. Quittner, where are we on this case?
We actually have a resolution agreed, but having sent it to Ms. Cohn electronically, she needs to print it out. She would need to go to the library or somewhere similar to do it. And she is currently quarantined from a COVID-19 exposure. So speedy trial time permitting, I would ask that we set this one over so that she could get a chance to print that out. We've already gone over all the provisions in detail.
Right. Well, as far as I know, the Supreme Court's order that they did, the general one the Supreme Court did that allowed us for good cause during this COVID epidemic to continue matters. I think that we can safely continue this matter. I'll find that there are special circumstances given the quarantine in Ms. Cohn's case. So it's not a speedy trial issue. And when would we want to continue this to? Just to the 27th?
I would ask that we do it to the next one because if I am going to participate on the 27th, I should probably keep the docket light. And since we have an agreed resolution, I don't see the harm in setting it out till the next one after that.
No, given the speedy trial finding on this, I don't see a problem either. What that does then is it puts us on November 10th.
Correct.
So that finding having been made and given the circumstances, I will continue this matter until November 10th, same time, same place.
Okay.
All right. Anything else from the parties?
Well, the record shows that Ms. Cohn is a KISS fan.
Is what?
A KISS fan.
I hope she is a KISS fan and she's not just wearing the shirt because KISS are a wonderful band.
Oh, yes, they're a wonderful band. Yes. I'm sorry.
That's great.
Okay, I took my kids to see KISS 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, John just went and saw them. Good taste,
Oh,
everybody.
you're lucky. Oh, you're so lucky. I bet it's on a good show too, man.
All right. Well, Ms. Cohn, thank you very much, and we'll see you on the 10th.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And how do I get out of here? Stop. Someone's gonna have to exit me. I don't know how to do this.
Kick her out.
Okay. That is all we have for pre-trials.
Okay.
I
believe that's all we have for Mr. Quittner.
Okay. Is there going to be a written order on the speedy trial issue that how the court is going to approach that?
I'm sorry?
Is there going to be a written order from the court on the speedy trial issue generally?
I don't know that that's necessary or not. I didn't know that there needed to be a written order on the speedy trial issue.
I'm not sure there needs to be. There has been in other courts.
Well, that's fine. I'm certainly not opposed to that.
Okay.
If you want
We
to
do
send
have
me,
our emergency order posted on the AOC website.
yeah, if that's what you
addresses
mean.
that.
We have a general one. I didn't know if you meant a specific one in each given case where we make a ruling like that.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant. So we do have a general one that's been issued. I'm sorry, I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, we do have one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Quittner.
Okay.
So am I to understand then that what we have remaining are arraignments?
We have a contested and a mitigation also.
Okay.
Mr. Dokeson, were you able to get with Mr. Morgan or Lake?
I just emailed him back, basically telling him that he should have gotten discovery, and if he wants to continue it, he can. I'm not dismissing it.
Okay.
So he's not in the waiting room, so I'm not sure how you want to handle that, Your Honor.
Well, Mr. Duncanson is representing here that he just sent out discovery.
No, discovery was sent out in August.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood.
Yes.
Mr. Duncanson is representing that he just spoke to Mr. Lake, who had hoped for a dismissal and was rebuffed. And frankly, I don't care what the negotiations were. I'm just reiterating what I heard. So I guess, I'm sort of surprised that Mr. Lake is not here on the docket. That's not, I haven't had any issues with him not showing up or not being prepared in the past. Mr. Duncanson, do you have an objection to me setting this over? Or, I mean, it's up to you if you want to put something on the record.
I have no objection. And then just so for the court's knowledge, Mr. Lake had indicated that he hadn't had the discovery. I reached out to Madam Clerk, who provided me with email showing that discovery was sent.
Okay.
And then I
So
also 2 days ago. So
it may have been lost in his transit to him, but we did send it out. So that being the case, I will bump this over to the 27th, but Mr. Morgan Lake will need to either have this resolved or appear on that date.
We have a mitigation.
Okay.
Bring her in.
So looks like Miss Krirar is having some difficulty connecting to the audio on here.
Let's look that way. Put her back in the waiting room. Put her back in the waiting room.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess we'll have to do that. We can't hear you, Miss Krirar. Yeah,
Sorry.
all right.
So now we have our arraignments.
Okay.
I believe this one is Mr. Carey. First one on our list.
All right. There's Mr. Carey.
There it is.
All right. Hello, Mr. Carey.
Yes.
You able to hear me okay?
Yes.
Wonderful. All right. We are here today for an arraignment, South Bend Municipal Court. I'm Will Penoyer, judge. And you are on here today for a charge of disorderly / public intoxication in violation of the South Bend Municipal Code. That is a standard misdemeanor, meaning the maximum penalty is 90 days in jail and $1,000 fine. That's not what you're necessarily going to get. That's just the maximum penalty that can be imposed on that charge. This case is on for arraignment. That's your first appearance, which means that I'm going to go through your rights. And at the end, I'm going to ask you what kind of plea you want to enter and whether or not you would like the court to appoint a public defender. All right?
All right.
Great. So as you know, you have the right to remain silent. That means you don't have to say anything about this offense or any other offenses today or in the future. You have the right to be defended by a lawyer at any hearing. You have the right to have an attorney appointed for you if you cannot afford an attorney to represent you. You have the right to a speedy trial, which would be within 90 days since you're out of custody. You also have the right to have your guilt decided by a jury. If you decide that you do not want to plead guilty, the trial in this case would begin with you being presumed innocent. And the judge, which is me, would tell the jury that they are to consider you innocent until you are proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You're allowed to call witnesses on your behalf, and you can have those witnesses come at no expense to you. You also have the right to question and hear witnesses called against you in court. If you're found guilty at trial, you have the right to an appeal. If you plead guilty in this case, you have very limited rights to appeal. In this situation, Mr. Carey, would you like me to appoint an attorney on your behalf?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Carey, I've had you here before, and I remember that you did qualify for a public defender last time. So has your financial situation changed?
Same.
Okay, in that case, then I will appoint John Quittner to represent you. Do you want me to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf as well?
Yes.
Okay, so that is done. I've entered a plea of not guilty, and I will appoint Mr. Quittner. Mr. Quittner is not going to be here on the next court date, so that means that your next court date will have to be November 10th. Is that right, Madam Clerk?
Correct.
Okay, so your next court day will be November 10th. I think you may have worked with Mr. Quittner before, but at any rate, we will send you his information again and also notice of the next court hearing.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't.
I do.
Oh,
I'm his sister-in-law, Kim Coates.
Hello, Ms. Coates.
Hi. So will his lawyer not be in court next time on the 10th?
You mean on the next court date is the 27th, which is why I'm moving it out to the 10th. So he will be.
Okay. So he will be in court. Okay, perfect. That was my question.
Yes, and he'll get the contact information for him well ahead of time, and then this is the next couple of days.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
thank you.
No problem at all. All right, I don't think there's any other matters to address here. So, Mr. Carey, we'll see you back here on the 10th.
Okay. You have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
No matter what.
Okay, bring in Mr. Robert McKinney, also on for arraignment.
Okay. Mr. McKinney? Mr. McKinney, can you hear me? I thought I heard a noise from there, but maybe I didn't.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay,
Yep.
great. All right.
Thank God.
Okay, wonderful.
I've never
My name is Will
done
Penoyer.
this.
I'm the judge for the. Please stop talking. I'm the judge is speaking now. Okay, my name is Will Penoyer, and I'm the judge for the city of South Bend. We're here today for arraignment for Robert McKinney. Mr. McKinney is charged with driving under the influence, as well as an infraction to the off-roadway. Excuse me? Hello?
Sir.
Yeah, he's okay.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear a response. All right, so we're here for arraignment today.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go
I
through.
agree with you, sir.
Okay, I'm just going to go through your rights, Mr. McKinney. And then we'll discuss whether or not we need to appoint you an attorney, okay?
Okay.
Great. Okay.
Yes.
So, Mr. McKinney, you're charged with driving under the influence. That is a gross misdemeanor. That means the
Yeah.
maximum penalty is a $5,000 fine and 364 days in jail. That does not mean that is the penalty you will get, but that is the maximum penalty that I can impose. You have the following rights: the right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything about this case at any time in the future, including at trial. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you at public expense. You have the right to a speedy trial, which would be within 90 days since you are out of custody. You have the right to have your guilt decided by a jury. During a jury trial, the jury will have to presume that you are innocent unless you are proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You may call witnesses to testify for you at no expense to you, and you can question any witnesses that are called against you. If you are found guilty at trial, you may appeal the question of your guilt to the next level of court. However, if you choose to plead guilty, you will have very limited rights to appeal. At this time, Mr. McKinney, would you like the court to consider appointing an attorney for you?
Yes, that'd be good.
Okay, Mr. McKinney, I do have to ask about your income to see if you qualify. So what is your monthly income?
He's on Social Security.
Social Security.
$1,300 a month.
Okay, all right. I find that he does qualify, and I will appoint John Quittner to represent him. Mr. McKinney, would you like me to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. The next thing I need to do, Mr. McKinney, before going on is I need to set some release conditions. Mr. Prosecutor, Mr. Duncanson, did you have anything beyond standard DUI pretrial release conditions?
I'm tempted to request for an ignition interlock. He does have a prior DUI, however, it's from 2008, so it's well outside of the 10-year period of priors. But just, I guess, for the court's knowledge that there is a prior DUI.
Okay, I did see that.
This did involve an accident, but it doesn't look like it was involving another person or a pedestrian or no injuries. So.
Okay. All right. Are you asking for the court to impose a pretrial ignition interlock requirement?
Nah. I think standard conditions: no bars, no taverns.
Okay.
Don't drive.
Well, I am concerned that there is a prior charge here. I'm looking at the blood alcohol content, and just want to review that real quick. Make sure I remember it correctly. Okay, it's okay. It looks like the BAC readings are actually, they're not certainly over the limit, but they're not extremely high. They're 0.110 and 0.101. So I'm just going to impose the standard pretrial release conditions for a DUI, which means do not drink intoxicating liquors, do not go to any bars, taverns, or lounges. Obviously, do not drive intoxicated. Our next court date will be on October 20. No, actually, I'm sorry. Your attorney will not be here until November 10th. So your next court date will be November 10th. The only other rule is you shall not use any drugs except as prescribed by a physician. Do you have any questions for me, sir? Hello, Mr. McKinney? Well, I don't know when I lost him. the last I could hear him was when asking for an attorney and not guilty. Okay, well, I'm not sure what to do here, Madam Clerk. Should we maybe move on to another case?
I can also note everything that was decided after he locked up in his information that I sent him for his next hearing with his attorney info.
Okay, I prefer that I was able to communicate directly with him, of course.
Sure. I can put him back in the waiting room if you want.
Why don't you do that and maybe see if they can figure out what's going on that end, in abundance of caution. And we have one other arraignment.
We do. We have Mr. Steve Smith.
Okay,
I believe we're going to bring him in on a video and a phone.
okay.
So
I will say on Smith, it does look like he was cited at the same time as
Mr. Carey. Yeah, they were there together. At least allegedly.
Hello?
Hello, is this Stephen
Hello?
Smith?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon,
Can you
Mr.
hear me?
Smith. My name is Will Penoyer and I'm the judge for the city of South Bend.
Yes, sir.
And I have you here today for arraignment in our court for public intoxication in violation of the South Bend Municipal Code.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Smith, I'm just going to go through your rights and then talk to you about whether or not you want to have an attorney appointed to represent you, all right?
Yep.
Okay. The charge you have is a standard misdemeanor, which means that the maximum penalty that can be imposed is 90 days in jail and $1,000 fine. That's not necessarily what will be imposed, but just the maximum that can be imposed. You have the right to remain silent throughout the course of this case. You have the right to be defended by a lawyer at all stages of this case. And if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you at public expense. You have the right to a speedy trial within 90 days. You have the right to have your guilt decided by a jury, and you have the right to be presumed innocent until that guilt is determined by a jury. You have the right to call witnesses to testify for you at no expense to you. You have the right to hear and question any witnesses that are called against you. If you are found guilty at trial, you have the right to appeal that finding. If you choose to plead guilty, you will lose most of your rights to appeal. At this time, Mr. Smith, would you like the court to consider appointing an attorney for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Smith, what is your monthly income?
789 or 794, sorry.
Okay, I find that you do qualify, so I will appoint John Quittner to represent you. I recognize that Mr. Smith and Mr. Carey were both in the same incident, but I don't think that there's any conflict arising there for Mr. Quittner, given the nature of the charge. Certainly, if Mr. Quittner feels otherwise, he can let the court know. So at this time, Mr. Smith, we're going to send you your attorney's contact information, and your next court date is going to be November 10th.
November 10th. Thank you.
Yeah, same process, logging in on here like before, okay?
Yep.
All right, do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Smith, we'll see you then. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good day.
You too.
What'd they say?
Anything else, Madam Clerk? Well, we had those two individuals who had technical problems.
yes, Mr. McKinney has left, but we do have the mitigation on this, and I'm going to try to pronounce this, Sarar.
Right, I remember. All right, so on Mr. McKinney's, we'll just send out the release conditions and the information. All right, Ms. Sarar, we can't hear you. We can see you, but we cannot hear you. Can you send her a message, Madam Clerk? Just so she knows what's going on. Oh, that's encouraging. That may be it. Madam Clerk, is this the only case we have remaining?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure what's going on. I'll give it another minute.
I know she did say that she does not have internet. She's logging in through satellite on her phone.
Oh, hey, you know, I think she just needs to unmute herself.
Okay, now, yes. Just
Unmute yourself.
Okay, got it.
There she is.
Hey, all right.
Oh.
I know you were
Thank
trying
you.
hard over there.
I was stressing out. Thanks for your
Well,
patience.
we're slowly learning the little things that seem to cause problems with this ourselves. We don't know. We're not experts either. Well, all right, Miss Sharar. How do I pronounce your last name, ma'am?
Krarar.
Krarar?
Yeah, Krarar.
Krarar. Okay, well, Miss Krarar, my name is Will Penoyer, and I'm the judge for the City of South Bend Municipal Court. And I have you on today for a mitigation hearing for a speeding ticket. And what that means is that you admit that you were speeding and that you committed the infraction, but that you would like to provide an explanation to the court and see if the court would consider reducing the penalty. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I've taken a look at it, and now is your chance to let me know.
Thank you. I just came out of the dental office, and it is 30 miles an hour there, so I was speeding, but I was going slow for about past the store, the little mini mart, the South Bend Deli, this little store.
Yep.
And then I sped up to 40 because within 2 blocks, I know it was 40, but I didn't know for sure where it was 40 at.
Okay.
So I was like 2 blocks behind the speed limit.
Right.
I don't quite have all that down yet,
Okay.
but I knew it was going to be 40 miles an hour. So I waited until, actually, I think I got behind DSHS and then went up to 40.
Okay. And I'm just looking at the ticket. What direction were you going?
I was coming home to Raymond.
Okay, so you would have been going northbound on 101.
Okay.
I realize Raymond is not north of South Bend, but that's just how it's rated on the highway.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I understand, ma'am. I understand what your narrative. I assume you're new to the area.
I'm from Seattle, where everybody, the flow of traffic is 10 miles over the speed limit. I've had a hard time adjusting with this.
Sure. Okay, ma'am. Well, it sounds to me like a legitimate misunderstanding. It looks like, I'm just looking at your history, you have some no insurance tickets, but it doesn't look like you have, the only traffic problem I've ever seen you have was following too close.
Yeah, I have insurance now, I've had
Okay.
insurance since I've been here with your insurance people right there in South Bend.
Oh, that's good. Okay. All right, ma'am. So the most I can reduce the ticket down to is $95.
Well, that's a big relief. Thank
But
you.
that, because otherwise after that, it's basically like the city is paying out money to the state, the way the distribution of the money is. So I will reduce the ticket down to $95 and I expect you will not speed through there again.
No, I'm working on that because you go from 50 to 40 to 30.
Yep.
And it's just like, okay, which zone am I in?
Right. The easiest clue is how many buildings there are close together. The closer the buildings are together, the slower you probably should go.
That's what I'm starting to see.
It's the best I can give you for shorthand.
Located by buildings, I am.
There you go. All right, Ms. Sarar, we'll send you, well, actually, what is your address? Because you said do you live here or do you live at the address in Linwood?
No, I can't. I moved back here. I used to live in South Bend. I went to court with your mom. Is Panara your mom?
If it was a Betsy Penoyer, that would be my mom, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, wonderful mother.
Thank you. You're very kind, ma'am. So I just want to make sure we have the right mailing address for you. That's why I'm asking.
Okay.
We have a mailing address in Linwood. Is that correct?
No, sir. No.
Okay. What is it?
850 Crescent Street
In Raymond.
in Raymond, Trailer 1. I'm at
Okay.
the
All right. I know where that is.
Timberland RV Park. Yeah.
Yeah, I know where that is. Okay. Madam Clerk, you got that?
I do.
All right, Ms. Crerar,
Yes, sir.
we will send you that information on how to pay the ticket, okay?
Thank you. And it's nice talking to you.
Have a good day, ma'am. Good luck to you.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. I hang up.
Just close the program. That'll probably do it for you. Okay, I guess that's it.
That is it.
All righty. As always, Madam Clerk, I appreciate your service and I will send over that order on Eris and I will also put together the pretrial release stuff for the DUI case.
Okay, I have one question for you on the contested hearing for the gentleman who the address he gave is no mail receptacle.
Doesn't he have an attorney though?
No, it's a contested hearing. It's a infraction.
Wait, no, I'm confused. I thought the only contested hearing was one where the guy had an attorney.
This is one that was on a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Mr. Garvin, and we reset it to wait and see if he contacted the court because the court has no way to contact him.
Oh, okay. I just don't see it on my docket.
No, it's not on the docket. That's why I
Okay.
waited till after to talk with you.
But you did send him notice of the hearing?
I did,
Okay.
but it comes back because there's no mail receptacle.
Right, but you said, the point is you did your best to send it to him. We've already given him one opportunity to try to contact the court. I don't know what else to do then on that case other than to do a finding of committed.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that he does not know about the hearing, but it is his responsibility to let the court know what his address is if he wishes to contest the ticket. So that's what I'm putting on the record on this. And
that is all.
that is that. Okay.
We are done.
All right. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Have a good one.
See you, Mr. Duncanson.